Hey guys, this is KubosKube, and today I want to show you something pretty great. Now, there is not a video on it that I could find, and there was very little said on a Reddit post about it. I will link the Reddit post in the description should you want to read it. Now, let me get to explaining myself. I am playing Feed the Beast Infinity Expert Mode on the Down with Destruction server, uh, and I ran into an issue. Someone killed me, and for whatever reason, I was standing on top of the bottom half of a half slab, and thus the game did not place a gravestone. So I lost a lot of tools because there was no gravestone, and the items were not dropped on the ground. Open blocks, I would heavily recommend that should you ever listen to this video, that you make the gravestone feature to where if there is, for whatever reason, not a gravestone, that the items fall on the ground. That'd be great, because we have yet to find that gravestone. And I am missing a lot of Endurium tools. Now, back to the point. Enchanting books. We want to enchant books. A lot of books. Specifically, in my case, I want to enchant a bunch of things with Soulbound, but Soulbound is insanely hard to get. Now, I did read a little bit. Someone said on the forums that 20 to 30 levels is enough experience to put Soulbound on a gold item, on a gold armor piece or something. I haven't tried that yet. I really, I haven't. I don't know why. Now, what I did do, however, was someone told me that Mine Factory Reloaded fishers can fish up items with enchantments, which they have. This one pulled off auto smelt. Now, what you can do is you can come over. Hang on, just real briefly. A fisher, it's real nice. You just power it with any source of power, and then put it over a source of water, and it will ever so slowly do work. If you have a bunch of fishers bunched up together in one spot, they will work very slowly. So it might have been more efficient if I would have just put one fisher underneath that chest, but that does not matter. I let this run for a couple of hours, and I had that one bow with an enchantment. Now you come over to your Disenchanter, you load it up with your bow and some books. Now, it starts doing weird graphics, that's okay. You hit this cost button. So apparently, since I'm in creative or something, it's going to cost me 0 levels to pull the enchantment off of this bow and put it onto a book. And it gave me the auto smelt. So now there's still those two. Unbreaking 3 and Infinity 1. We now have a bow with these 3 enchantments off to the side. Now this is really nice because we have an unenchanted bow. We can throw it on top of this mana enchanter here. Quick review before I actually get to work. The mana enchanter is a multi-block structure. You need 17 obsidian. The block underneath this mana enchanter is a piece of obsidian. You need 4 flowers here, and then the way I like to think of the spacing on this middle pylon is on the 3rd block from the obsidian, and then if you had a knight from a chess game sitting here and he moved once, that's where you'd put a pylon. That's how I'm going to remember it, and that's what I'm going to do. Now, to do this mana enchanter thingamajiggeroo, you have to have a mana pool with mana inside, of course. And you can use a spark placed on top of the pool and on top of the enchanter to provide the I don't know, the stuff required to enchant your items. Now, to enchant them is really easy. Now, we're actually going to scrap these books for a Soulbound book. You take the book, you throw it on the ground, you grab a Wand of the Forest and right-click on the Mana Enchanter. It'll play a noise. and you'll see a bunch of animations. If you're holding the wand, you'll see that little dial that turned. It'll play some more sounds, and your item is enchanted with Soulbound, which is great. Now, that doesn't help us a whole lot, but we still have a Soulbound book. So what does this mean? We can come back over here to our Disenchanter and rip another Soulbound book off. This is great news. So we can do it again at the cost of mana. That's all it takes, is just a bunch of mana. So there it goes again. Enchanting. Plays a noise. And you pull off your item. And now you have 2 Soulbound books with a Soulbound bow. And you just repeat the process as many times as you need to get whatever you need. Now, something I would like to note is that my Tinker tools that I was talking about, it is relatively difficult to enchant them, so I'm going to kind of do this as a sort of a combo video. Give me a moment to become very experienced. This is great, isn't it? Actually, I think there's a better way to do this. XP... Yeah, there we go. XP... Probably Q... I don't know. 100L. There we go. There we go. Okay, so... we have a Soulbound book and a Tinker's pickaxe. Now, what's so strange about this is this is where you'll want to pay a little bit of attention to this, because this is actually a very nice little tip. You can put Soulbound on your Tinker tools, but it's not as easy as putting in your tool and your Soulbound book and pulling out your tool, unless you're in creative mode, or for whatever reason that worked. Why did that work? I'm not in creative mode. This isn't supposed to be working. Okay. For whatever reason, it started working. I don't know why. But if it does not work, which it should not, you can force your Tinker tool to accept the enchantment if you rename the tool while you apply the enchanted book. This is what I had to do on an old world I was playing on. I had everything all of my Tinker tools were Soulbound, and even if you don't rename it, it's going to put the letter F in front of your tool. This is not unavoidable, but since you're going to be renaming the tool something anyways, you might as well just toss it back in, take off the letters, and then pull out your normal tool again. Now, if you'll notice, at the bottom it says Soulbound, and the name is just a normal Endurium pickaxe, which is what we wanted. Now, if we really wanted to, we could disenchant this Endurium pickaxe and rip our Soulbound book off of it. I would use that as a last resort if you ran out of other Soulbound books, because you cannot put an Endurium pickaxe onto a mana enchanter. Now that we have all of that thrown out in the open, now that we know what's going on there, let's do a quick recap of the recipes, shall we? There we go. For this, you will need a Disenchanter, a Fisher, any power source, that's up to you. I'm gonna let y'all figure that one out. A mana pylon, a mana enchanter, which is actually a block of lapis lazuli. Really easy. You will need a wand of the forest, and I think any one of these will work. And then you will need a spark. There we go, got a spark. Now, let's go over recipes. Disenchanter is not terrible. 2 Eyes of Ender, an enchanted book, 2 emeralds, a normal enchantment table, a normal book, and a 2 draconic cores. That means you will need 8 draconium ingots, 8 gold ingots, and 2 diamonds. A fisher is a little bit more complicated. You will need a machine frame, which through Infinity Expert Mode, you have to make through the assembly table, and I will let y'all delve into this. This is actually really crazy. You will need a couple industrial craft things to make the dense iron plate. You know what, just forget it. I'm going to go ahead and go into it. For this, you will need a compressor and a metal former in rolling mode, and any type of steel, just normal steel. And then you can make crushed obsidian through the rock crusher. I will let y'all look up the rock crusher. Then you have a basic circuit board through the carpenter. Keep in mind that there is water over here. You have to have water. Every time I try to make one of these, I forget the water. It's just one tin ingot and some redstone. If you do any mining whatsoever, you will have redstone. So that's pretty cheap. You need an iron chipset, which is in the assembly table. 1 iron and 1 redstone. Pretty easy. And then lastly, a tin gear. That's just 4 tin smelted down in your Tinker's Construct smeltery and poured out into a gear cast. And that gives you a machine frame. Now, after you have the machine frame, you make 2 buckets, 2 iron gears, 1 redstone reception coil, which is a gold, and 2 redstone, a fishing rod, and then 2 plastic sheets. Now, this is kind of tough. You need rocket fuel. Rocket fuel is made through the vat. You buy using gunpowder, redstone, and hooch. Hooch is made through the vat with any organic compound, I believe, sugar, and water. And it gives you hooch. And there is that. That's how you make rocket fuel. And rocket fuel can be used to make this thing. Compressed sawdust, you get that from the... you can pulverize wood. That's cool. You can also get it from a sawmill. Any type of normal log will yield 6 wood planks, which is really great for Feed the Beast Infinity. I will say, that is fantastic. The mana pylon is actually a very easy recipe, although mildly expensive because it requires diamonds. If you have a mana pool, you just walk up to it and you throw these things in. You throw in 2 steel ingots and 1 diamond. And actually, you'll have to do that 6 times because you need 6 pylons. Then you just need 12 gold, and then 4 times 6 is 24. 24 gold nugget substitutes. And that will get you the 6 pylons you need. After that, you just need to mine up 1 block of lapis lazuli. Make yourself a wand of the forest from mystical white petals, which can... you need living wood, and you can get living wood from placing normal logs next to a pure daisy, I believe. And then you can make a pure daisy. Oops. Okay, anyways, you can make a pure daisy by, I believe, using 4 mystical white petals with the petal apothecary. That should give you a daisy. I'm not sure. I'm not very well versed in botania. I didn't actually craft this stuff. I just threw it together in creative mode so that I could test it out. Once you have your wand, right-click on the lapis lazuli block in the middle of your ritual area. It will play a noise and turn into a mana enchanter. You will also need 2 sparks. Recipe for that is 2 blaze, 1 gold nugget substitute, and 2 petals of any color. And you just, if you hold down shift, you can place one on top of the mana enchanter and one on top of the mana pool. And mana is taken out of the pool and put into the enchanter whenever you activate it. And that is that, guys. That is completely that. Now, just a quick recap. You get your enchanted item, you throw it into your disenchanter, you pull the enchantment off of it, you run over to the mana enchanter, throw your book on the ground, use your wand of the forest to begin the enchantment process. It'll do a little animation, it'll play some noise, and you have an enchanted item with a book. It did not consume the book, and now you can duplicate the book by repeating the process at the cost of mana. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will catch you next time. This is KubosKube over and out. Bye-bye.